We're gonna try to get ahead to see if we can get some cool shots of them walking towards us. So we've stopped here, kind of anticipating where the lions are going. We've got water on this side of us and the lions are coming from this side. It's been really hot today, so we are hoping that they're going to drink. It seems like that's probably where they're heading, giving them their space and rather let them come walking towards us than us chasing them. If they are heading the direction we think they're heading, then we're gonna get them walking straight past the vehicle, and that's always good for photos.
It's calling me, like the rainbow, like the rainbow. It's calling me, like the rainbow, the rainbow.
So we just arrived to our second camp here at Amalinda in Wangi. This is Khulu Bush Camp, and oh, it's so stunning. It's a tented camp, unfenced, beautifully integrated into the bush, and such a gorgeous view. I'm really, really excited to be here. Okay, so we're about to head out on afternoon drive again. What do you think we'll see, Craig?
Zambezi teak.
Okay.
No, I'm joking.
What
I don't know.
animals?
I'm hoping to see a nice large herd of buffalo. It's the only thing we kind of really
That's
haven't
true.
seen.
I would love
over
to
the
see
last-
some buffalo.
And, we saw the tracks this morning, which is quite cool and quite positive. So I'm hoping for a nice breeding herd of buffalo.
Sounds good. Let's see what we can find. So we've just got word of some sable further up ahead, and it's such a beautiful, unique antelope that we don't often get a chance to photograph. So very excited to see if we can get some photos of these guys. You might need to bring up your shutter speed because we are out in the sun. So if your shutter speed is too slow, then your ISO can't compensate for that, and your photos will be too bright. So we found the sable, but they quite skittish antelopes and get quite nervous, so we're just giving them their space and trying to see if they maybe calm down and we can slowly approach them when they're a little bit more comfortable. Wow, he's got beautiful horns there. So you might want to go plus, Craig. Yo, he is stunning. Okay, let's see when he walks there. I just got back from drive here this morning. It was freezing cold as usual, and I'm just gonna back up some photos. I like to do this in the middle of the day because at night I just want to get to bed because I'm usually so tired, so I don't want to worry about backing up photos and stuff. So usually my go-to is doing this in the middle of the day, back up all my photos, charge all my batteries. I might charge up batteries at night as well because I sometimes just run out of batteries. So yeah, my go-to is to back up all my photos during the day instead, and then always format my cards before drive, because even if I have a lot of space on my cards, I just feel like you never know what you see out there. So I back it up onto my hard drive. A few times per trip, I'll back up that hard drive to another hard drive because I'm paranoid that something might happen, I'll lose all my photos. And so far, knock on wood, that system has worked quite nicely. I also often get the question of how many photos I usually take when I'm out in the field. And honestly, it completely depends on what we see out there and what the lighting conditions are like. Sometimes I'll take 1,000 photos in one afternoon, and sometimes I'll take 3 photos in a whole day. And then out of all those photos, which ones ends up being keepers is also quite a long process. So just to put it into perspective for you guys, I have been culling my photos as we go along, but for these 10 days here in Wangi, I've got about 2,000 photos in my catalog at the moment. And out of those, I've marked about 200 as like really good ones that I want to edit. And then out of those, maybe 10% I'll actually end up editing and then exporting. And then out of those, I don't even know how many I'll end up posting on social media. And then out of those on social media, I think maybe like 10% end up being prints. So that, I hope that puts it in perspective. I can never say if a photo is going to make it as a print or be one of my favorites when I've taken it, because it's just such a long process through like culling and editing, and then which ones stand out to me and which ones that really speak to me and I end up going back to several times and liking really much. So yeah, it's just a really long process, and it takes me kind of years to figure out which photos are my top ones, if that makes sense. But my advice to anyone who is trying to figure out which ones are their top photos and how to better recognize if a photo is a keeper or maybe one that really stands out, what I often recommend my students doing is that after a trip, they go through all their photos obviously, and they keep the ones that they want to keep and all of that. And then I recommend them picking out a top 10 selection from that trip. So you kind of narrow it down. Maybe first you pick out your top 50 and then you pick out your top 10. This process just really helps you figure out which are your top photos and maybe where your strengths are as a photographer. And then at the end of the year, you go through all the trips you've done that year and all the top 10s from each trip. And then out of those, you pick out a top 10 from the whole year. And that really just helps you narrow down to the absolute top photos. And if you like doing something like a calendar, this is a really good way to also narrow down to top 12 instead of top 10 from the year. So on that note, let me share my top 10 from this 10-day trip in Wangi, and hope you guys like them as much as I do.
Oh, so the good news is I've heard that the dogs are close by. But it can be a long drive from here. So since we have been eyeing for the lions, I would think the best thing to do right now is to go straight down there and look for the dogs.
Okay.
Because dogs normally around 4:30, 5 o'clock, they'll start hunting. Of which the lions, they start waking up maybe 5:30 or 6.
Yeah.
So we'd rush there and look for the dogs. Then after that, we come and check the lions.
see.
Is that okay?
That sounds like a plan.
Good.
All right, cool.
Okay, cool.
All right.
Awesome. Thank you. That was perfect. Just chatting to the wild dog researchers who might be able to tell us where the dogs are. He was the one who gave us the news of the dogs, so he will just give us a more exact location. So fingers crossed they're still there. We tried our best to find the wild dogs, but unfortunately couldn't find them this time. So instead we headed back to the area where we knew the lions were seen this morning, hoping for better luck with them. Oh my word. We just found lions. Everyone is looking for lions. They've just driven this road. They didn't see anything. And now we're driving this road and the lions are right here. It's like they came out for us. We're just going to slowly approach them and see if we can get a good angle. Just want to watch their behavior and not push them or anything. But they seem quite relaxed with us, so I think we're all good. You know what? I'm going to go for this one in the front because the other two will follow her.
That's the daughter to this one.
We just got back from drive and look came to welcome us. It's just incredible. And just like that, our time here at Wangi National Park with Amalinda Safari Collection have come to an end. It's been an incredible 10 days. We've had some amazing sightings and I've really enjoyed it. 10 days was a really good amount of time because sometimes you head out there and you literally see nothing, and sometimes you head out there and you see everything. So having the full 10 days to really be able to enjoy this place have been fantastic. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this video as well, and stay tuned for the next video. We are heading to Tanzania in just a few weeks to host a photographic workshop seeing the Great Migration. So that's going to be incredible. So stay tuned for that. And until then, just follow along on my Instagram to get more frequent updates, and I'll see you guys very soon.